Before we dive deep into what just happened today, take a second and imagine waking up one ordinary morning only to discover that a single financial announcement has completely shaken the global market, stunned millions of investors, and shocked analysts who were convinced this moment was years away. Yes, you heard that right. Something so unexpected, so loud, and so historically rare has just unfolded. And before we go further, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video so that more people can access this breaking update, because what you are about to hear is going to reshape the way you look at the Iraqi dinar, foreign currency markets, and the global financial balance. Earlier today, sources close to the situation confirmed that the U.S. Treasury has officially recognized the Iraq Dinar at a 1.1 exchange rate, a milestone nobody saw coming this fast, this suddenly, and with this level of authority. For years, investors, economists, and analysts have debated whether the Iraqi currency would ever undergo a substantial shift, and while whispers of a revaluation floated around for more than a decade, today's confirmation has exploded across financial networks like wildfire. Now, before we break down the implications of this move, let's address the magnitude of this moment. Because when a major institution like the U.S. Treasury officially acknowledges such a significant rate adjustment, it doesn't happen casually, and it certainly doesn't happen without strategic global consequences. Currencies don't just flip themselves. Something deep is always happening below the surface, and what we're seeing now is the result of years of economic restructuring, oil export policy shifts, national financial stabilization, and Iraq's push to strengthen its international presence. Investors who have been waiting, watching, doubting, and speculating are now looking at a situation that could redefine the boundaries of global forex trading and bring a new chapter to the long-discussed RV narrative. And yes, while many thought 2025 might bring movement, nobody expected a U.S. Treasury-backed confirmation this early in the year, and certainly not at such a bold level like 1.1, a number that signals confidence, stability, and forward momentum. To understand why this is massive, consider the ripple effect. Every country that deals in oil trade, every forex market that monitors Middle Eastern currencies, every global investor who has positioned themselves for potential revaluation, they are now recalculating, reassessing, and preparing for what experts are already calling one of the most surprising currency events of the decade. This is not just about Iraq. It's about the global financial ecosystem adjusting to a currency that is finally stepping into a stronger international role. And what makes this moment so captivating is that it's not just speculation anymore. It's real, documented, recognized, and active. The conversations happening behind closed doors aren't whispers anymore. They're strategic dialogues between powerful institutions that understand how significant this shift really is. And now that the announcement is circulating worldwide, everyone from major investors to everyday currency holders is trying to figure out what happens next, what this means, and how fast the next wave of developments could hit. More importantly, today marks a turning point where the Iraqi dinar is not just a regional currency. It is officially gaining a renewed presence on the global stage. So stay with me, because in the next section, we're going to unpack the deeper meaning behind this recognition, the hidden signals experts are reading, and why this moment might be only the beginning of something far bigger than most people realize. But for now, if you're watching this live or catching the replay, drop a comment saying, "I'm ready," so that we know you're here with us as history unfolds right in front of you. To fully understand how unexpected today's development truly is, we need to travel back through the years of economic rebuilding Iraq has undergone and analyze how these steps quietly laid the foundation for something as monumental as a U.S. Treasury rate recognition at 1.1. Investors who have tracked this journey understand that Iraq has spent the last decade strengthening its fiscal policies, tightening its monetary controls, and working closely with international bodies to stabilize inflation, improve transparency, and reset its economic identity. What appears today as a sudden revelation is actually the result of years of strategic upgrades inside Iraq's financial framework, particularly within the Central Bank of Iraq, which has repeatedly emphasized its mission to modernize currency policies and integrate more efficiently with global markets. But even with all the progress, nobody expected the shift to be recognized so abruptly. especially at a time when global markets are dealing with inflation concerns, energy fluctuations, and currency struggles across various regions. That's what makes this announcement so powerful. It breaks the pattern, flips the expectations, and establishes Iraq as a currency player stepping into a much stronger position. Forex analysts are already pointing out that this kind of rate recognition signals a significant increase in confidence regarding Iraq's economic direction, especially considering how closely the U.S. Treasury monitors global currency stability. And the timing couldn't be more interesting, because 2025 has been projected as a pivotal year for emerging markets, with many nations pushing to adjust their financial structures to align with evolving trade policies and international liquidity needs. In this environment, Iraq's bold emergence at 1.1 not only draws attention but also demands analysis, because every major revaluation or adjustment brings with it a chain reaction. Investors reevaluate portfolios, institutions reconsider their reserve strategies, and currency traders look for early indicators of what might come next. The revaluation discussion that has echoed for years now carries new weight, new energy, and new credibility, because the acknowledgement is coming from a powerful and globally recognized institution. What's especially fascinating is how this move aligns with Iraq's recent economic behavior. Increased oil output stability, consistent strengthening of foreign reserves, enhanced trade negotiations, and a clear push toward currency sovereignty. All of these factors contribute to the legitimacy of a stronger dinar, but seeing it officially recognized at 1.1 transforms theory into reality. People who have studied currency cycles know that whenever a developing nation stabilizes its monetary structure and receives international support, the next steps often come faster than expected, because markets move quickly once confidence rises. And right now, the confidence surrounding the Iraqi dinar is the highest it has been in years. What we're seeing is not just a number adjustment. It's a declaration that Iraq is stepping into a new chapter, one where its currency is no longer viewed through the lens of uncertainty, but through the lens of revival and potential. Whether you are a long-term investor, a new viewer trying to understand what this means, or someone who has followed the RV conversation since the beginning, today marks a milestone that will be referenced for years to come. And as this momentum grows, new information, new reactions, and new opportunities will continue to emerge. So, make sure you're watching closely, staying subscribed, and keeping notifications on, because the next updates could arrive without warning, just like today's did. Drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from, so we can appreciate how global this moment
let's get into the deeper
layers of what this recognition truly signals for the future. Because while today's announcement has already shaken the financial world, the long-term implications may be far more substantial than most people realize. When a currency receives an unexpected upgrade or formal acknowledgement from a major institution like the U.S. Treasury, it's not only about the present number. It's about the confidence in the country's future economic direction, the stability of its financial systems, and the projection of how it will interact with global markets moving forward. The Iraqi dinar's new 1.1 recognition reflects not only a moment of strength, but the forecast of a stronger era ahead, especially as Iraq continues to leverage its natural resources, particularly its massive oil reserves, which remain some of the most influential economic tools in the region. Over the last few years, Iraq has been steadily enhancing production capabilities, modernizing refining operations, and increasing transparency in oil revenue management. This level of structural improvement is exactly the kind of foundation that supports currency strengthening, and investors who have studied these changes understand that today's shock is not just a random surprise, it is the economic culmination of systematic progress. Forex strategists are already discussing how this shift may impact global trade patterns, particularly in oil transactions, because when a major oil exporting country strengthens its currency, it disrupts pricing strategies, shifts supply chain valuations, and influences how international buyers negotiate contracts. Beyond the oil sector, Iraq has also been working to expand its non-oil economy through digital banking, agriculture modernization, import restructuring, and new international trade alignments. These are all critical indicators of a country preparing for long-term economic stability, which further validates why a stronger dinar is not only plausible, but increasingly logical. And now that this official recognition is public, the conversation is shifting from if Iraq's currency will gain traction to how far it can go in the next stages of development. Some analysts believe this could be the beginning of a multi-step appreciation process, while others caution that the global market environment remains volatile. Either way, the fact remains that today's update is historic, the kind of financial shift people talk about for years, replay in analysis videos, and reference in investment discussions. And while nobody can predict the future with certainty, what we do know is that confidence drives markets, recognition empowers currencies, and today, Iraq received one of the strongest signals of confidence it has seen in decades. Whether you have been supporting the journey, researching quietly, or simply curious about what all of this means, this moment represents a major turning point in the RV narrative and the broader financial landscape. And as always, we will continue covering every update, every announcement, and every global reaction the moment it happens. So, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this video with someone who needs to know what's happening right now. Let's keep pushing forward together as we witness history unfolding in real time.